Hey everyone, if you're running a home office, a small business, or just need rock-solid Wi-Fi for a bunch of gadgets without dealing with a mess of cables, you might be wondering whether the new eero PoE 7 bundle is actually worth the investment. I picked up the 2-pack with the gateway to see how it holds up in a real-world setup, and I've got to say, the results surprised me. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let me explain why I went with power over Ethernet in the first place. I've got a NAS, a few cameras, and a couple of work laptops all needing stable connections, and running power cords everywhere just adds clutter. I mean, think about it, each device needs at least 2 cables, one for power and one for data. That's a lot of cords to manage, especially if you're working with limited desk space or trying to keep your home office looking tidy. The eero PoE 7 lets me power devices and send data through the same Ethernet cable, so 1 cable per device instead of 2. That alone cut my cable chaos in half, and it's made a huge difference in keeping my workspace organized. The included 140W power supply from the gateway feeds everything, so I didn't need a separate PoE switch, which saved me a few bucks and a trip to the store. I was a bit skeptical about the power supply at first. I've had experiences with underpowered devices in the past, and I didn't want to risk running into issues with my setup. But the eero PoE 7's power supply has been rock solid, and I haven't had any problems with devices dropping their connections or not getting enough power. I set up the 2 eero PoE 7s in my garage-turned office and my living room. The tri-band Wi-Fi keeps the backhaul speed high between the 2 units, so I'm not losing any bandwidth just because they're talking to each other. I ran a speed test and hit my full gigabit plan without a hiccup, even while I was backing up files to the NAS and streaming a 4K video on the TV. That's the kind of consistency I used to only get from wired connections, but now it's wireless. It's amazing to think about how far Wi-Fi technology has come. Just a few years ago, I would have needed a wired connection to get speeds like that, but now I can get it from anywhere in my house. The gateway doubles as a router and a PoE switch, so I didn't need to buy anything extra to get started. I plugged in my modem, connected the gateway, and the 2 PoE 7s took care of the rest. The setup app walked me through everything in under 10 minutes, and I didn't have to call tech support or dig through manuals. That's a big deal if you're not super techy. I've had experiences with routers and networking gear in the past that have left me frustrated and confused, but the eero PoE 7 was a breeze to set up. I also like how compact the units are. They're about the size of a deck of cards, so they sit neatly on a shelf instead of taking up half my desk. The low-profile design means they don't look out of place in a home or small office, which matters if you're trying to keep things tidy. I've got a bit of a minimalist vibe going on in my home office, and the eero PoE 7s fit right in. They're not flashy or attention-seeking, but they get the job done, and that's exactly what I need. Another nice touch is the app. It shows me which devices are connected, lets me set up guest networks, and even lets me pause the internet for the kids when they've had enough screen time. I can also prioritize certain devices so my work laptop always gets the fastest lane, which is a lifesaver during video calls. I've been working from home more and more lately, and having a reliable internet connection has been a game changer. The eero PoE 7's app has made it easy to manage my network and keep everything running smoothly. I tested the range by walking to the far end of my backyard with my phone. The signal stayed strong enough to stream music without buffering, which is impressive for a setup that's mostly indoors. If you've ever dealt with dead zones in a larger house or a backyard office, this kind of coverage is a game changer. I've got a bit of a backyard office setup going on, and it's great to be able to move around freely without losing my connection. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that didn't quite hit the mark. The power supply that comes with the gateway is pretty hefty, so make sure you have space for it. If you think this could work for your space, check out the 2-pack with the gateway in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, with the link to the product still available in the description.